Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, my fellow YouTubers, Facebookians. Welcome to another edition of Princess Aries here. Today I want to talk to you all about something very important. By the way, I'm an 80s gamer, as you guys know, because it says Addict. You know the NES code for 30 lives. Please leave a comment and suggestion in the box. And please do it by memory, not by Google. So, today I want to talk about two things. Make it three, possibly. One's going to be a personal feeling about transgenderism. Now, I'm transgendered like most of you out there that watch this. If you are transgendered and you're seeing my videos, I'm not as a pretty girl like some of them. I got makeup tutors helping me, etc. But today I want to talk about a couple things. One is Medicare and billing. Now, if I take my glasses like this from time to time and look in, it's going to be checking the time so I don't go over the lot limit for this channel. First of all, I want to say for Medicare and billing, I've had people come and message me telling me that if you're on Medicare and you're getting breast augmentation done, that you run it as breast reconstruction. No, doctors say unless you were born with genetic breasts, it's not breast reconstruction, it's breast augmentation. Breast reconstruction is a different theory, and those different theories are kind of complicated, you know. So I just wanted to say to you all, before you go and say, oh, it's breast reconstruction, I've talked to many doctors, probably over 600 doctors that would do breast augmentation on transgender people. A lot of them don't do Medicare, but the ones that will have stated, quote unquote, we're not billing it as breast reconstruction. We are billing it as breast augmentation. So I want you to take a note of that. Secondly is I have a great therapist. He is a real sweetheart. You know, very good. He asked me yesterday if I could provide him with the list of doctors that do the surgery. And I said, okay, no problem. So I gave him everything except for the ones that are doing mine, because he's going to get that later. My doctor does not want to be bombarded. Breast augmentation doctor or the doctor that does the gender reassignment surgery. I had to work hard to get those lined up. I'm not having him bombarded, so I'm not giving him the info until the time comes, as well as the doctors, and I'm not doing some other stuff. I'm very respectful towards the doctors that are working with me, including the one that's doing the trial. The bill, it's his first case for breast augmentation. Now, facial feminization, as you all know, I haven't given that up, but the problem with facial feminization is it's very difficult to find. So far, I got two doctors I got to check in with. One basically said the other day, no, I don't do facial feminization under Medicare. Well, that's good and dandy. The other one I need to contact next week on, because I'm at home and I'm not traveling around. I could have done it this week, but I frankly did not want to wake up. So I'm hoping if I email the doctor's office, they can contact me directly, because he's supposed to be taking Medicare for FFS, but right now we don't know. So there is number two thing. So facial feminization, wait till it comes in me and my handbook for trans people. You know, the Medicare and I, they give you a book every year. In the meantime, we just got to wait and see. But the administrator, who's female to male, and bless his heart, I'm not discriminating, I'm not harassing, I'm not intimidating, attacking, etc. Some say I can. But he needs to realize that breast reconstruction can only work to a certain point. Now, he's got lawyer friends that are saying the same thing. But when I contacted the doctors that I contacted, they were going to bill it as breast augmentation under a certain transgendered code. Fine and dandy. So I got my date set for breast augmentation. I got my date set for gender reassignment surgery. And now I'm just waiting for business emails from the doctors on on other issues. So, next thing I want to talk to you about, third thing, being a transgendered woman. Now, I asked the doctor, or not the doctor, the therapist, his opinion on a couple things, and he finally turned around and told me outright, in his heart, he thinks that things will get better in time. But in the meantime, I asked him what he thought about me being transgender, and he says, "Ma'am, I think you have been transitioning almost 18 years. It's time for your surgeries. You are definitely transsexual. It's not like you jumped out of bed yesterday and say, I want a sex change." Now, the thing he did talk to me about briefly, which I didn't bring it up to him, but briefly, and that is, the point is young transsexuals under the age of 18 shouldn't be going to Thailand because their parents can't get doctors over here to do it. And they're trying to say sex changes should be done before the age of 18. No. Secondly is they might regret it 20 or 30 years after they've had it done because they didn't get to live their life fully or have sexual intercourse as the birth gender they were. If they can do that, then you have my blessings. But I told the therapist the same thing. If you're working on someone who's younger, you need to realize a few things. And I found this out through the grapevine, talking to him about it, as well as other doctors. And other doctors that just monitor hormones, like my current doctor is monitoring him, because my previous doctor was her professor. And that previous doctor was one doctor that monitored him for 6 months, and that other doctor monitored them for 3 years, all the way back. It's been documented to 99. That everyone who's on it, the recommendation, like the psychiatrist turns around and says, I will be responsible for giving him the hormones, and I will be responsible with the therapist for giving them the referrals for gender reassignment surgery. Now, if they sue us after the fact, 10 or 20 years, saying this is the wrong course of action, well, there you have it. So please, before you do this and say, oh, well, the young people need it, you're discriminating. Just remember, deep down, my fellow trans sisters, that if you look on the WPATH, it states clearly that the psychiatrist or psychologist, primary care doctor, or even the therapist that's issuing you a letter saying you qualify and you follow the guidelines for hormones, that therapist is now locked into a legal binding contract. They're the legalese of being legally responsible, as well as others, for issuing hormones. So if it's the wrong course of action, they're the one that's liable, not the patient taking it. Same goes with gender reassignment surgery. So before you sit there, just remember, some therapists, some doctors, some psychiatrists, and some psychologists will not even recommend those because they don't want their job on the line. And I understand that's what's going on with my primary care physician for certain issues. So, now that you understand that, younger generation shouldn't be doing it because they can't make the decision. So, with that said, everyone, I need to log off. I got a bottle of bourbon somewhere I want to drink. And I just want to say, I will be getting my ears pierced soon, so look for that. I want some dangly earrings. I'm going to paint my nails soon, too, so look for that. But the bottom line is, for all of you out there in the transgendered world, do not discriminate, accept everyone, but just remember, sometimes even if the youngest ones want to look passable, they're sometimes ending up single the rest of their life because it eventually comes out they were born male or female or etc. And remember, some of these people do get angry and sue. Look at in Australia, Trudy Kennedy. She died while she was in a court battle fighting because several of them said it was the wrong diagnosis. Just remember that. So, everyone, please look for another video later. I'm out of here. Time to find that bourbon. Princess Airy Sky, signing off. May you all be blessed well. Goodbye.